Welcome to the podcast. Today we review Sinners for the cast of Michael B. Jordan, Winmi Usaku, Lin Ju Lee, Jamie Lawson, Miles Canton, Delroy Lindo, Jack O'Connell, and Haley Stanfield. The plot of this movie, directed by Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame, is a group of troubled twins played by both Michael B. Jordan, Stack and Smoke, or Smoke and Stack, Smokestack, return to their hometown to discover a greater evil has welcomed them back. And from what I can extrapolate, it looks like both of them were former military turned gangster turned entrepreneur coming back to their hometown of Mississippi to try to take some beer, and I believe there was food that they stole from two rival factions in Chicago. So as far as the cinematics of this movie is meant to be seen in the IMAX theater. If you can, I think it's been out for a while, and of course I'm very, very late with my review, but if you still can go see it in the IMAX, I think that's where it's best seen. Let's talk about the themes of this movie. And related to its name, Sinners, in my interpretation of the movie, speaks to the 7 deadly sins. So, start with lust. So, Jamie Lawson, played by Pearline, and she represents lust. Of course, she's supposed to be married. I don't think she was married. I think she was lying to the young man to throw him off, and he kept pursuit. So, and I believe gluttony is portrayed by Delroy or Delta Slim. Greed is Smoke, played by Michael B. Jordan. Sloth, Omar Miller, Cornbread, by his name in the movie. And I can go back and explain a little bit more of my reasoning behind it. So, Cornbread, and we're going to have spoilers. I mean, it's been out for a while, so you should have seen it. But if you haven't, just spoiler alert here. Cornbread is out with his wife in the cotton field. And in that cotton field, there's a chance to make money. He's reluctant to go. And it's like, hey, everybody needs a little more cash, especially if you're picking cotton. So if you got a way to get out of a bad situation, you should take it. And I think that represents sloth for Cornbread. Now, of course, again, spoiler alert, Stack, also played by Michael B. Jordan, represents wrath. And that comes kind of later at the end of the movie. I won't spoil it for you here, but a small spoiler there. Now, envy is attributed to Haley Steinfeld's character of Mary. I think she was envious of the life that she had with Smoke. And she wanted that back. And he had moved on because in his mind, his lifestyle of being a gangster and club owner didn't fit for someone in her life. And he pretty much, you see someone that's living a certain way, and if you're living a criminal lifestyle, there's no way you want to take someone out of their current lifestyle and kind of bring them into what you're doing. So I think he was trying to protect her. Sometimes people don't want protection. They want to be with you, regardless of whatever. So some people may switch her with Pearline and say hers was lust, but I think Pearline, especially after her scene in the closet, and maybe it's a toss up between those two. So you can argue in the comments about that. And Pride, I believe Pride was portrayed by Annie. I think Annie and Stack had a relationship. They had a horrible thing happen. I won't spoil that. And it drew them apart. And sometimes when you're in a relationship and things happen in that relationship, it's hard to get over things, and it's hard to come together in regards to something that's bad that happened. But, sometimes you have to swallow your pride to get back together. And I think that was kind of the undertone of like a quiet love story that Stack had with Annie. Whereas, you can look at Envy with Smoke and Mary, or you can say it was lust. But again, I'm going to still go back to Pearline being more lustful than than Mary. And then our villain, portrayed by Jack O'Connell, is Remlick. And if you look up the definition of Remlick, it's a surname given to someone who resides near a hill, a stream, a church, or a tree. And if you've seen this movie or go see this movie, you'll see that curiously, he is pretty much near all three of those things. So, my thoughts on the movie. Thought it was well executed. I thought everyone brought their A game in regards to their portrayal of their characters on the screen. I thought the other theme in regards to this movie is how blues music brings people together, and how sometimes you can take something that brings people together and use it for ill purposes. And I think that what the character of Remlick or Remmick was attempting to do. So, if you have yet to see Sinners, I would recommend it, and we will also recommend it with a score of 9. This is a must-see movie. And if you've seen it once, like I have, go see it again. I think it's worth a second look just to see if you can pick up on those themes. Also, how could I forget? You got to look at the breakout performance of Miles Cotton. If this is this young man's first movie, he's going to be a tremendous star. I think he learned how to play the guitar just for the movie. And there's some clips online of him singing. So definitely someone that you might want to keep an eye out for. That was a great find. Please like, comment, and subscribe.